what if when you go to the beaches of Singapore, right, you don't only see one crab, or you don't only see two crabs, but you see hundreds of crabs crawling all around the beach, and not just any regular crab. What if you see hundreds of hermit crabs around? Well, let's find out more about that in our little red jungle.
Wow, look, now here's so many plants and animals.
Hey, hello. So, we are here at the beaches of Singapore during the low tide to look for hermit crabs. And I don't think this is like common knowledge to the everyday Singaporean, but hermit crabs, right, are very common in our intertidal areas. Like you see all these shells over here? It's like at least a few hundreds, I don't know, maybe even thousands, like this whole stretch. All these shells, they're all hermit crabs. And so hermit crabs, they actually belong to a whole separate group of crabs, right? As compared to your regular crab or your true crabs, right? And as such, there are actually many different species of hermit crabs. But one characteristic that hermit crabs all share is that they do not have a hard shell exoskeleton of their own. And instead, their exoskeleton, right, is actually soft, which is why all of them, they have to occupy the shells of other animals, especially that of marine snails. And it's very easy to tell them apart. You see this one? You see how they move? This one, snail. Then you see this one? Hermit crab. And so like I said, hermit crabs, their shells, right, it's actually taken from other animals like your snails. And that is because snails, they can make their own shells, right? But biologically, hermit crabs cannot. Right, they cannot make their own shells. And how it works, right, is basically when they first hatch up from their eggs, right, baby hermit crabs, they actually look like this, right, and they're called zoeas. And so these zoeas, they will actually swim freely and molt a few times until it's more developed. And then they will scour the whole ocean to find a suitable empty shell to call its home. And they will actually constantly look out for new shells to inhabit as they grow bigger and bigger in size, right? So in other words, they're going to upgrade their home, to fit their bigger bodies. And so, right, these shells are really the outer protection for these hermit crabs, right? Because like I said, soft bodies must protect. But also, these shells also protect them from drying out. Okay, so for example, now you see a low tide, right? And the sun is shining directly on them, and hermit crabs can also actually dry out and die too, right? And that is what we call desiccation. And so, right, by actually hiding inside the shell and then using their bigger claw to block the entrance, they're actually preventing the moisture from escaping, right? In other words, trapping the water inside the shell. And then they can just wait there until the next tide pull them back into the water. And then they can continue to live their life to find for more food, right? And so hermit crabs, they're actually opportunistic omnivorous scavengers, which in other words, they jiaka liao. So to break down that Singaporean lingo, that means they will eat anything and everything, right? So that includes plankton, even small fish, or any food particles that just happen to float by. Also, decaying wood also will eat, or even leaves. No wonder they are so abundant, right? Got so many of them, because on the beach, what is there not to eat for the hermit crabs, right? They can just eat everything. Right, but that is also why they are important ecologically, for our ecosystems, because they serve as a beach cleanup service, right? Because rotting in general, it means bad, right? But with hermit crabs, nothing gets a chance to rot because they will just whack, they will eat it all up. And so that's the thing, right? Every organism has its own role in the ecosystem, right? And sometimes it's not very obvious, but if you look out in the bigger picture, every role is actually important. And so I must harp on this again, right? Because time and time again, and we still see it on our news platforms, we still have people bringing their families over to the beaches to pick up all these creatures, pick it up and put it in a pail to bring home. Right? I don't know, is to keep as pets or to give their children a good educational experience, or I don't know. But okay, just a very quick PSA, please do not do that. I repeat, do not do that. Okay, like observing all these hermit crabs and all these, intertidal creatures is perfectly okay, right? But actually, when you remove them from their natural habitat, a lot of these creatures and these animals will die. no joke, they will die. And that's not what we are trying to educate our kids on, right? Like, should we really be killing animals for the sake of an experience? Is that the right morals we want to impart? But yeah, serious talk aside, right? You know, these hermit crabs are actually very, very, very fascinating creatures. And if you actually go down to the beach during low tide, I really urge all of you to, you know, try to go and observe them. But observe only. And like legit, I am here with my friends for just like 2.5 hours, and we saw so many things just with all these hermit crabs, right? You see them fighting, you see them feeding, you see them pop their heads out of their shells, right? So exciting. Who knew that our beaches is more than just sand and sea and waves? Right, and once the water recedes, right, Singapore's beaches are super happening. I love it. And so this marks the end of today's episode, but before we leave, I'd like to give a big shout out to our patrons. Mr. Chu, Spotman, Juno, no, Engler, HR Queen, Limpets, Muffin, Jets, Pingu, Master, Job, Block, Tango, Amal, Delo, Neko, Sama, Uncle Sam, Amelia, Fauzi, Willenor, Crooked, Spider, Low Eli, Big Three Circles, Amy, Lou, Quack, Mama and Momo, Pixel, Ama, and Purple Pepper. Thank you so much for supporting this channel directly, and if you would like to do the same, you can find the link to my Patreon down in the description below. Do also follow me on my other social media platforms and subscribe to watch more videos of our local ecology. Thanks again for watching, and remember, keep your eyes peeled, because when you walk along the beach and then you pick up a shell, then who knows, maybe got another pair of eyes that will pop out and look at you. Okay, bye bye.